The best universities of the world, like Harvard and Massachusetts Institute of Technology, do not guarantee job placements. Just think about that. Placements are not university managed in most institutions in countries like the US. They are solely managed by the student bodies. There is a need for students to upskill themselves in the next gen skills like AI and ML because these skills are going to be required in virtually every industry. IIT is one of the few globally recognized Indian higher education brands. In the QS World University Rankings 2025, IIT Bombay and IIT Delhi are among the top 150 universities of the world, but they too are facing a drop in the placements. Hi everyone. We have been hearing how the placements at IITs have been bad this year and how they are going from bad to worse. But is it really so? Now, when the frenzy around this topic is settling down, let's take an objective view of the situation and what we all can do about it. So first, let's talk about the facts. As per the RTI responses received from the 23 IITs and multiple media reports, close to 8,000 IITians are yet to find jobs in 2023-24 placement drive, out of which 38% had registered for the placements. Now this is almost twice the number last year. Moreover, the median salary of an IITian has also gone down to about 17 lakhs per annum. So is this situation really that bad? Well, to an extent, yes. But let's understand why. While the news about some IITians bagging over 1 crore or even 2 crore packages often makes the headlines, what is surprising is the situation on the lower end. As per some reports, the annual packages are falling below 10 lakhs in some cases. Now that is not what you expect from after graduating from the Indian Institute of Technology. Moreover, IIT is one of the few globally recognized Indian higher education brands. In the QS World University Rankings 2025, IIT Bombay and IIT Delhi are among the top 150 universities of the world. But they too are facing a drop in the placements. Now, getting admission in an IIT has a prestige attached to it. Students, due to peer pressure, their own ambition, and that of their parents, often go to extreme lengths to get admission into the IITs. So much so that there is an entire coaching ecosystem that has mushroomed around it. And we often hear of some tragic incidents where a promising life was cut short due to disappointment on not getting into the IITs. But that is for another episode because our topic today is the placements scenario at the IITs this year. Now, with so much prestige attached to the IITs, students are naturally disappointed to see a drop in placements of one of the best educational brands in India. So first, let's accept that there is a problem that needs to be fixed. Now, let's look at the reasons. The first reason is global economic slowdown. The world GDP growth rate only marginally improved this year, and as per IMF, it is projected to be steady but slow at 3.2% during 2024 and 2025. This means that companies are increasingly becoming more cautious about new hirings. Even in the services sector like banking and consulting, where trends like internships are emerging, where students are offered an internship in the beginning which can later lead to a job offer. So in all fairness, it's not only confined to India and to the IITs. The second reason is core engineering sectors are more severely hit. If we look at the data received in response to the various RTIs and media reports, placements have been poorer in core engineering sectors like mechanical, chemical, and civil engineering as compared to, say, IT. This means that manufacturing sector needs to grow faster to create more jobs in this sector. This is also important because this sector is conventionally not considered as fancy as IT and has more domestic players who are not able to offer salaries equivalent to the services sector where most MNC companies operate. And truth be told, there are fewer engineering students in a discipline like IT who would want to get their hands dirty in a civil engineering job that requires a more, let's say, hands on the ground approach, which is why companies are likely to prefer graduates from a tier 2 or tier 3 college. So the problem is more pronounced in the core engineering disciplines. The third reason is post-COVID impact. The placements were high after the pandemic as there was a demand at that time, which has now partially reduced because of over-hiring done at that time and other reasons. Therefore, the comparison with the COVID and immediate post-COVID times is also responsible for throwing up such contrasting figures. Moreover, the startup ecosystem also witnessed a slowdown because of less funding, but this is now changing because more funding has started flowing in. And let's not forget, engineering college placements are cyclical in nature. There is sufficient reason to keep hope that this situation will improve. Now, the fourth reason is the advent of AI and machine learning. This year has seen the rise of ChatGPT, and many of the basic tasks are now being done by AI, even in the services sector. Basic coding is done through AI, and human intervention is required for more complex operations. As a result, there is also a trend of not hiring fresh graduates in some organizations who prefer those with some experience. And let's remember that AI is here to stay. So what can we do about this? The first thing to do is to treat an educational institution for what it is. The core mission of setting up IITs was to deliver quality education and promote research excellence, not merely to secure student placements. We need to realize this. Associating the success of IITs solely with their placement statistics grossly undervalues their contribution and importance. At this point, it is also important to get perspective from the West. The best universities of the world, like Harvard and Massachusetts Institute of Technology, do not guarantee job placements. Just think about that. And yet, the students from these institutions go on not only to secure good jobs, but create revolutionary products and solutions that have changed the world for the better. What's more, placements are not university managed in most institutions in countries like the US. They are solely managed by the student bodies. The university offers the opportunity to develop skill sets that are marketable and form alumni networks that open doors for new opportunities. This is the approach and mindset that maybe we as students and the universities need to adopt. The next thing we can do is acquire next-gen skill sets like AI and ML. There is a need for students to upskill themselves in the next-gen skills like AI and ML because these skills are going to be required in virtually every industry. So the focus should not just be on securing a good placement right off after college, but to upskill in these areas to make oneself more marketable. In the 30-40 years that we work after college, a few years spent on upskilling oneself is nothing and brings us at par with someone who got a better placement just in a matter of a few years. Next is university action. While we are doing all this, the IITs and other engineering institutes also need to reevaluate the course curriculum to make it aligned with the current industry needs by incorporating AI and other advancements that are becoming a necessity in the job market. The universities also need to take a cue from the West, where the alumni networks are leveraged to forge student-alumni connect, which leads to better job opportunities for the fresh graduates. While this is being done by many IITs, perhaps more can be done here. Last but not the least, governmental action. The role of the government is very important. In the overall context, the government can ensure that it continues to play the role of an enabler in the effective functioning of educational institutions. At the same time, an area where the government can play a more proactive role is giving a boost to the manufacturing sector, where students from core engineering sectors seek jobs. With more demand coming from this sector, we can look forward to times where core engineering students will find more opportunities and hence better placements in the domestic market. The job placement scenario at IITs may be less than bright right now, but it's too early to write them off. If we as students, universities, and the government take proactive and progressive steps that we discussed, there is much hope for the youth of India and our prized educational institutions that keep India shining.